So next, I thought I'd show you what keeps Prince Rupert alive and thriving. The harbor at one time was quite the place for fishing boats and cruise ships and stuff like this. And then they built the Superport. Again, this was mentioned earlier about the Grand Trunk Railway coming up here, and this is what it was. So they not only have this big Superport here, they also have a coal terminal and a grain terminal out at Ridley Island, which is about 6 kilometers out of town. And it's another beautiful gray, slightly wet day. And this is the BC, where the BC Ferries comes in down here. That's as close as I could get to and get a good vision of the Superport because they won't allow people in there. I guess I could have snuck in with somebody, but right now I'm up on Graham Avenue, and this is where all the beautiful homes are. Even Goldberg likes the view. That used to be the grain elevators, and since it moved to Ridley Island, it has moved to they have changed this to a pellet port, so it drops pellets off. Don't ask me what kind of pellets. So this is where the Alaska Ferry used to come, and it used to leave Prince Rupert and head up to Ketchikan in, I believe, Juneau, Alaska. But in recent years, it has been shut down due to some kind of political stuff. I don't know. But yeah, we're on the waterfront here. And this is where all the, this used to be a cannery. It's now a spill center that will protect our oceans from major spills from the big freighters that are coming here. But you can still see all the fishing boats are still all anchored here. This town used to be back, I used to live here back in the 70s, and it just thrived with fishing, logging, all that stuff. And now they're kind of based on the port. The port is now keeping them alive, and tourism. Well, we don't have any of that this year because of COVID, but here's a picture of the BC Ferry that travels up here from out of Port Hardy, Vancouver Island. And again, there's the Superport, and that's why I went up to that neighborhood, because all you can see are the cranes sticking out of the ground. But it's raining. I gotta head back, get into the van, check on the dog. So I just came up to check out my old house I grew up in. We planted this tree, and like without a word of a lie, it was about the size of your thumb. When we planted it, we found it on the highway. But it's nice to go through the old neighborhood and see what things are like. And here's my old house with that little tree. And that's the little tree. I guess that's what 50 years will put on you. And this is the beautiful Prince Rupert General Hospital. Could use a good cleaning. Everything in this town needs a good cleaning. Anyways, you can see it's raining. We'll go for a drive. It kind of sums it up. Canada's friendliest little city. Prince Rupert's on an island, next to another island that holds their airport. Yeah. Let's go check out some totem poles. Before we see the totem pole, since there used to be 3 here, but there's only 1 left, I thought I would show you this little town in the gray rain. It's a approximately, I'm gonna say 5 miles long by a mile wide. That there is the old Highliner Inn. It's the tallest building here in Prince Rupert. Top 5 floors were condos, and the bottom ones were a hotel. I'm not even sure if it's operating anymore. And here's our totem pole. It's the grizzly bear totem pole. Came from the Charlottes. And I suppose the bottom's a grizzly bear. The bottom's a spirit grizzly bear with a frog in its mouth. A couple cubs, and going on up. They're quite interesting. And I love how they weather. I guess you'd have to call that patina. And this is my old school. There it is up there. That's what we need to look at. There you go. Roosevelt Elementary. The memories. Years ago, we used to have a ski hill up there. That's the slash that they stuck in there. I think they have a couple of towers near the top. There was a gondola ride to the top. I remember one year we had the most snow in all of BC. It was town all because of rain. That's my first job. Well, not my first job. My first job out of high school. I was an off-road tire technician for Goodyear Rubber Company. It's now a refrigeration and air conditioning fixing place. Oh well, we're coming up to what's called 5 Corners. Whoops. This town has changed drastically. Seems that they hit hard times, and they're just not taking care of it the way it should be. Things are burning down, falling apart, and nothing's being done about it. I used to work here too. The car wash. Oh, let's go check that place out. Okay. I'm trying to get a walk in here one day. That was the old movie theater, and this is City Hall. That's pranks. We used to fill that fountain that's no longer in use with soap and watch the foam roll over the edge at least a couple times a year. I had to quickly pull out my phone and do some recording here because it's like sun shining out, and I'm like totally shocked. And this is Main Street, so I might take a walk down here. Yeah, sun. Taking our little walk down Main Street, past City Hall. Cooper's on the lead here. Nice to see a little growth on the old totem poles. Black sky. So, that windowsill, these stairs, that windowsill. There used to be a ledge over there. Back in the 70s, we used to hang out here all night long on the weekends, watching people drive by, waiting to find out where the party was. Yeah, so that was basically our little walk down Main Street. Yeah, see what else we can find. Yeah, things like this kind of make me sad. I used to work at this, used to be a gas station and a car wash. And that's Main Street. And that was the old KFC. All boarded up, waiting for a new life. That one's all boarded up too, and that used to be the newspaper. Yeah, Prince Rupert Daily News. So that down there is where Yellowhead 16 comes and into Rupert, and then turns this way here and starts heading towards the ferries. The bus is there. That used to be a thriving car dealership. Ford. And here's a shut down food store gas station. But what I want to take you to is just up the street here. This is the old Totem Theater. Another derelict building in Nanaimo. I remember that gas station. That's fairly new and closed down. Because there used to be a really bad complex there. I remember going to that theater and watching James Bond Live and Let Die. That makes me old. But I also remember my father drove us to it and drove home like James Bond. So there's a benefit of having memories, I guess. This, I think, is probably the biggest eyesore that Prince Rupert has. Sorry, Prince Rupert. You got to do something. But here it is. This is the old Dairy Queen. The story goes, they had to clean it up. And this is how they cleaned it up. There's sure a lot of money there now with all that plywood. Check out that mural. Look at all these dudes. There's more whack of them. Oops. Hey guys. No, I think these are closer to ravens than actually crows. Because these fuckers are huge. Look at this guy. Okay? You're not scared of me, are you? Yeah, it's gonna be sad to leave this little town. I just spent the last 4 or 5 days here visiting with friends and family, and the weather's been like this the whole time. So not gonna miss the weather, but I will miss the people. We're sitting up here at Service Park. It's got a haunting memory to it. Some guy came up here when I lived up here and bludgeoned to death a couple campers that were camping here behind me in the woods. Yeah, there's a few other haunting things around this town, but I'm not going to take you to them. Yeah, so we're going to say goodbye to Nanaimo, I almost said, to Prince Rupert. Didn't get on a boat this time, which is kind of sad, but I wasn't going to go out there and freeze because it is cold here. I think it's 7 or 8 degrees right now, and it's noon in the thriving metropolis. So we'll be hitting the road tomorrow, and let's just see where that road's going to take us.